So why in the world did you choose to become a truck driver? I've noticed that there are 4 different types of truck drivers out there, personalities, and I group them into 4 categories. Who am I and what do I do? So I've been with the same company for 16 years now. Out of those 16 years, 15 of them have been recruiting drivers. We started the fleet with 10 power units, and now we've grown it to over 100 power units, all running cross-border freight. I'm a strong believer that slow and steady wins the race. About 15 years of recruiting truck drivers, I've noticed that almost all truck drivers will fall under these 4 categories, and this is the reason behind why they became truck drivers. When I know that category that they fall into, it's easier for me to recruit them because I know what it is that that person needs in order to be successful. So let's get to it, our 4 categories of truck drivers. Leave a comment down below on which category you fall into. So we have our category number 1. And these drivers are drivers that were forced into the industry by either their spouse, divorce, or debt. Everyone knows that truck drivers make really good money. It doesn't matter if you're a driver, if you're an owner-operator, if you're a lease operator, if you work in the van reefer division, the flatbed division, we all know that truck drivers make good money and they make well above the average pay, both in Canada and in the US. Now, women can be extremely competitive. And when their friends start having a stable, luxurious life and they don't, they start analyzing why. And with constant pushing and nagging, they can be very convincing. So you, as the good husband, might see as truck driving as an option, and a lot of drivers do end up going in that way. The second reason of why people become truck drivers, we'll keep it in the same category, number 1, is divorce. Separation, legal fees, constant bickering, loss of money, destruction of your family, of your home, kind of wants you to be alone and away from her. Nothing will give you more satisfaction than showing her just how well you are doing without her. And the third one is debt. Whether it's debt from credit cards, line of credits, your mortgage, your mismanaging of money, at some point you get sick and tired of all the collection calls, so you just want out and you need to work hard and find a really good industry that is always in demand. So why not trucking? When I do find a driver that's from category number 1, I understand that their motive and motivation is money. So it's the higher rate per mile, they need to make the miles, they want the money, that is what attracts them to a job. Which leads us to category number 2. Now these are truck drivers that are constantly in and out of the industry. So they're constantly trying something else. For them, trucking is a way for them to save money to be able to do something else. Trucking is like a backbone or like their comfort zone or the place where they can make a lot of money in a short period of time, but that is their means to their ultimate goal, which is not trucking. Sometimes I also get a lot of drivers that are working for 8 months and off 4 months. So they live in Canada or in the US for 8 months and then they will go and travel somewhere for 4 months. So that will say as category number 2 are drivers that are constantly in and out of this industry. And now let's get into category number 3. So these are truck drivers where trucking means a gateway to a better life. So I do get a lot of pushback when I say this, but our immigration policies, excuse my language, they suck. And with the shortage of labor, we definitely can start seeing it more and more. There's nobody that wants to work entry-level jobs. So most, not all, leave the industry once they get their paperwork, their PR, their permanent residence, and they ditch trucking altogether. So we are stuck in this constant vicious cycle where we're looking for truck drivers, but we're recruiting and bringing into our countries, both in Canada and the US, we're bringing in drivers, not all, they are just not qualified. So the vetting process is not good at all. So a good example of this is when I get a pre-approval for an LMIA. So this gives us the ability to bring foreigners into this country. When I post a job posting with an LMIA, so it allows foreigners that do not have the paperwork here in Canada, they do not have the ability to work, you have to bring them in through an LMIA program. So when I do have these pre-approval LMIAs, I will post it on a job board and I get hundreds, if not thousands of applicants. And a lot of these applicants have absolutely nothing to do with trucking. They're welders, they're plumbers, they're electricians, they are, name it, I've seen that resume. But it has nothing to do with trucking. But they know that the trucking industry is a gateway into North America. So they will sacrifice their life for the next 3, 4, 5 years. They'll do what they need to do. They'll come to Canada or the US, which is their end goal, and they will ditch trucking once they're done with it, once they get their permanent residence. So that in a nutshell is category number 3, where the drivers are actual drivers because it's a gateway into a much better life. Then we have the truck drivers that love their job and enjoy what they do. I can see this right off the bat. When I interview somebody who's 23, 24, 25, and this is all they want to do, and this is what they've seen as a child, I guess, growing up, that they want to drive a truck, they love the lifestyle, they have done so much research on the industry, and they believe that they're fairly compensated for their work. Now, they always strive for better and for more and to educate themselves. So they start off, when they're young, they start off in the van reefer division, then they'll work their way up into flatbed division, then they like to do oversized overhaul loads, and they're constantly bettering themselves within our industry. So knowing this information and knowing these 4 categories of truck drivers, it's easier for me to recruit them. Now, I'd like to know from the audience is, which category do you fall into? Are you number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4? Is there a category that I've missed? Do you agree, disagree? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out some pay comparison videos. I have just released a really cool video on flatbed versus tanker pay comparisons. So we had somebody from the audience that sent us their pay statements, and we were able to do a flatbed versus tanker pay comparison to see who makes more money. So if you're enjoying these videos, give it a thumbs up, make sure you're a subscriber, and make sure you check out that video. I'm Ronen, R-O-N-E-N, and I'll catch you in my next video.